More doubt on climate commitments just days away from the COP26 summit. Leaked documents reveal how some nations are pushing back on UN recommendations. Dr. Cecilia Tortajada, Professor of Environmental Innovation at the University of Glasgow, joins us live now for more on this. Dr. Cecilia, India and Saudi Arabia, they are said to have been lobbying the UN against completely moving away from fossil fuels. How damning are the contents in this report?
The comments have been made in a draft report. It will be until we see the report that we see how this has been revised or not. And so they are not damaging. And it is normal that the countries lobby for their interests. Every time the international community says that there must be a change, this means changes in terms of investments on your own economic development plans. And this requires time. And COP26 is not asking, or the international community is not asking that the coal is phased out, but to accelerate the phase out of coal. So we have to wait until we see what the negotiations come out here in Glasgow and what the report finally includes.
What do you think the concern is then? Do you think that it's an indication that countries are not prepared to make emissions cuts, or that perhaps some COP26 objectives might be considered unworkable for certain developing nations?
I think it would be much more that it would be unworkable. They wouldn't be prepared, but not in the sense of not willing, but not prepared, precisely because each country is at a different level of development. And finances will have to be more or less. The institutional capacity in many countries is not to the same level. So maybe the countries just need more time. As long as every country is in the same route, but the countries will need their own time.
Well, Dr. Cecilia, the IPCC report, when it's ultimately put together, it's meant to be impartial. Do the contents of these leaked documents suggest that some countries might have more influence over others? There were 32,000 submissions here from countries.
The documents are sent out for discussion to different stakeholders, and the governments are a very important part of the stakeholders because they are the implementable ones. And would it be that some of the countries may be able to influence it? We will not know. This is a scientific analysis, what the best science says, and best science shouldn't be influenceable. That shouldn't be. One is the political track and the other one is the scientific track. So we should not see any influence of any country or any stakeholders in the final report.
All right, Dr. Tortajada, thank you very much for sharing your insights with us this evening. Dr. Cecilia Tortajada, Professor at the University of Glasgow.